Hi, my name is Raven Fox, and I'm going to be talking about my essay over corrupt prison food systems in America. The thesis for this essay is that current prison food systems should be reformed because the food can be tainted with diseases, bacteria, and can also make prisoners' nutritional value suffer. Overall, this essay discusses 3 topics in 3 different articles talking about how there are different diseases that can break out into prisons. In the United States, there are many people incarcerated for various amounts of crime. Even though the conditions these people could be suffering, not a lot of people truly understand how bad the food can be. With diseases, bacteria, and subpar food-making conditions, the food's quality is at stake. The current prison food system should be reformed because the food can be tainted with diseases, bacteria, and can also make prisoners' nutritional value suffer. There are many prisons across the nation where their food systems are suffering and need to be changed. The articles discussed are all articles that explain the issues and show how prisons are not doing their part. Prisons need to change their ways and let prisoners eat in a healthy way instead of becoming malnourished. Besides the fact of malnourishment in prisons, there's also the fact that prisons are a great place for bacteria to grow. Being in a cold, dark environment all the time can really take effect and actually let certain diseases come widespread through the jail. One article focuses on this with a case of food-borne salmonella. The article by Michael McCurgan shows how prison food systems are not being taken into place. There are many budget cuts that happen in a prison, and food is not a #1 priority. There are many programs trying to be put in place to help prisoners in their quality of food. As McCurgan explained, Aramark's business model has resulted in the incidence of unsanitary conditions, insufficient portions of food, and inadequate nutritional provisions of. They also added the Aramark company was used in many jails across at least 19 different states. Even though we know the company has a bad name, we still buy and use their products to feed thousands of people. The foods provided to show people it could be improved and the conditions need to be kept in better standards. Malnutrition in prisons is also another topic that's been more prominent lately. With the food being so bad to where people can't eat it, many people go without eating on a daily basis. This in hand applies ethos while talking about the subject of malnutrition, since it is a tough subject to talk about. In the article Preventing Malnutrition in Prison, it states that prison governors are required to ensure that the diet available to those in prisons meets the minimum requirements for nutritional and energy intake. If the standards are actually met instead of pushed aside by fewer people, then less people will be suffering from not eating. It even explains in the article by stating patients with increased needs as a result of illness or malnutrition may not be able to meet their nutritional needs through the standard prison menu alone. If prisoners are not able to meet these needs, how are they expected to stay healthy? Food contamination is a growing problem across prisons also, with many diseases and sicknesses going around. Such a small space, many illnesses are easily and barely spread fast. The article stated the general causes associated with food contamination by S. Enrica in prisons are personnel or asymptomatic carriers, lack of hygiene, inadequate food storage. The prisons are not keeping any standards, and the companies are not putting out quality food. There needs to be better conditions overall for the food quality in prisons. Not only is the food the issue, but what prisons do with it is not acceptable. There should be better conditions for the people incarcerated across America, regardless of what stigma is against them. Some people might say they would not like to pay more money in taxes and give the prisoners something they're not worth. However, there can be many other budget cuts to help the issue and prevent malnutrition that is occurring. Also, there should be better training for the kitchen staff on how to prepare, store, and serve the food that they're cooking. If prisoners are just put into a job not knowing how to be safe, it is expected their problems will come a long way. Food systems inside prisons need to be changed, and so do the standards. Not enough of the prison systems care enough to reform any of the issues. Every article used discussed many key points and shed more light on the issues. Malnutrition, poor conditions, and the overall neglect of these issues are keeping the prison food systems from improving and changing their present situations. Once these problems are addressed, the prison food systems can become healthier and the lives of prisoners cannot become less harmful. Overall, America's prison food system is extremely corrupt and needs to be fixed. The budgets for the food systems need to be placed differently to where there's better conditions for the food. McCurgan stated, budgetary concerns are permitted to reign supreme. This shows there needs to be a change, even if it means higher taxes. The basic nutritional meal doesn't even cost more than 50 cents. If people would just put in a little bit more money, malnutrition itself would cease to exist and there could be better living conditions overall. There also needs to be better training on how to store the food properly, since the diseases are easily spread throughout prisons. So, in all, the current situation surrounding prison food systems could be fixed if the right precautions are changes and implemented. Thank you.